Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of this channel called Patrick the Runner. My name is Patrick Sheridan, and as always, I am here to talk to you all about running. So, look, if anyone's new to the channel, this is a middle distance focused channel. I'm an 800 slash 1500 meter runner, probably a bit better at the 800 meters at the minute because I have a PB of 149. My 1500 meter PB is 348, and tomorrow, that is Saturday, the 12th of July, I am running in Watford at a British Milers Club event, and I'm hoping to run about 345 or maybe just a bit under. So that is what the goal is. You know what? We'll say under 345 because that's what kind of shape I am hoping that I'm in at the minute, and I actually think I'm in at the minute. So look, tomorrow I just want to get after it. But just to let you all know what I've been at today, I flew in from Belfast to Luton Airport there a couple of hours ago, probably about an hour and a half ago. Then I jumped straight into an Uber. Felt a bit sick in the Uber. Felt actually pretty sick, to be honest. The Uber was really warm. Probably should have asked for the window to be open, but didn't. And then got here, feel a good bit better now. And it's about 10 to 7, so I'm going to go get some dinner soon enough. Going to try to not do too much walking around. If I've learned something from recent trips away, it's that I need to minimize the amount of steps that I do, because Jesus, sometimes I really do unnecessary exercise and just do stupid things when I'm away here. So I don't want to be spending the day walking around tomorrow and going to this shop, that shop, and the other shop, because it'll just burn off energy that I need to be saving. So I want to try to be economical with my energy expenditure tomorrow and just rest up, do as little as possible so that I can get ready to run a big race here in Watford. But yeah, that's really the plans for the evening. I'm going to do a wee vlog type video here for the week. What's actually happened, this is an interesting kind of couple of videos I'm hoping coming up, because so I'm in Watford today. It's the 11th of July. Then on the 12th I have a race. Then on the 13th I am flying from London to Portugal for 9 days. I'm going to stay in Vila Moura in Portugal, and I'm going to be there for 9 nights. Going to do a good bit of training there. Hopefully I'm going to do some vlog type videos there. I'll also be showing plenty on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, give me a follow there at Patrick the Runner 97, because I'm going to try to do something different with my Instagram now and just mix things up a bit. But anyway, that's the plan. And then after 9 nights in Portugal, I'm actually flying back to Luton, and then I'm going to go to Watford again, where I have another race, but it's an 800 meter race, and that's on Wednesday. I think it's the 23rd of July. So that's the plan for the next couple of weeks, and hopefully there's going to be a few YouTube videos out of that trip too. I think that's maybe better to do it that way rather than, waiting too long to upload a video, and hopefully you guys appreciate that. So on that note, if you enjoy the videos, please give them a like, press that subscribe button, leave any questions or comments in the comment section below. You know the story by now. I'll try to get back to you as best as I can. But anyway, yeah, that's really it. So gonna go down, get some food now, and yeah, I will catch you all soon. But look, we are hoping to run 345 tomorrow and to break that barrier, so that'll be a big jump forward. That'll be really good for me, and yeah, as I said, catch you all soon. Right, everyone, so that's me now. It is 10 past 6, so about 2 hours and 10 minutes from the race, and I am just going for a wee stroll here in the town. I have tried to keep the steps today to a minimum, and I have done that pretty successfully. I went for breakfast this morning, walked into the town 5 minutes away, got some porridge in Gales. Then I basically went to Tesco, came back and sat in the hotel for the rest of the day, had lunch there as well. So that's really going to be me. I'm literally just going for a 2-minute stroll here before I book an Uber and then get attacking this race. But look, I'm feeling really good about the race, to be honest. I am aiming for under 3 minutes and 45 seconds. I also want to do well because I feel like this is going to be the last 1500 of the year. Maybe I'll try to do a mile at the end of the season, depending on how this goes today. But we can talk about that after, if the race goes as I'm hoping for it to go. So look, I'm going to get after it. Hopefully I'm going to get a video for you all to see. And yeah, wish me luck. everyone, so as you can see, that was a disappointing enough result because I ran 3:51. I was open and honest about wanting to run 3:45, but it just didn't happen on the night, and I was disappointed in the way that I finished the race. But look, if I'm being entirely transparent about how I felt and everything in the build up to the race, I actually felt really good. I felt really strong. I feel like I got the taper right during the week. I felt like I got the balance of the steps in that I was talking about really good. I felt so fresh in the warm-up. I felt like I really had that pop and bounce. And then when the gun went, I felt really strong. I feel like running 800s really helps running 1500s because the start doesn't feel that quick. But all that happened was that I got 50-60 meters in, realized I was right behind the pacer, and then I stepped off because I thought I don't want to be behind the pacer because I've done this in recent 800s and that hasn't worked, and I've been tiring out too much in the last couple of 100 meters. So I didn't want to get to 800 in 1:59, which is what the pacer was going through in, and then start to die slowly, because that 700 meters to go is probably a long way if you've been out in front. But in hindsight, I think that's what I should have done, because I felt really good. Even after 800 to a K, I felt strong and I thought I was going to be able to finish really strong. But I think what happened was that I decided not to go behind the pacer, as I said, but I spent a lot of time then jostling with other people and running at the outside of lane 1 or possibly in lane 2 to avoid getting tripped and to avoid just bumping into people. And I think that was probably mentally tiring, but also just distracting. And then with 400 to go, I sort of found myself in a half decent position, and I think I was about 4th or 5th at the bell, and I think we went through in 2:48 or 2:47, and I think I should have had in my head there, oh right, okay, if I can run a 58 or 59, which I'm so capable of, then I'll be able to finish really strong and run a good personal best. But that didn't really happen, and that wasn't what I was thinking. I was thinking, I think I should be at the front here, and I should be at the bell at about 2:45 or 2:46, which obviously there isn't any point in thinking like that, because you know it was what it was at that point. But I think then I just lost a bit of focus. I think I lose focus, and this isn't an excuse, this is something that I obviously need to get better at. When there's not a clock with 200 to go, I feel like that always keeps me tuned in. But obviously a few people passed me, and I don't really think it was that my head dropped, but I think sometimes I've said this before, I just lose focus and concentration, and I don't do it all the time. And as I said, that's something that I need to be able to maintain. Like if I can't keep concentration for 3 minutes and 45 seconds, it's not a very good thing. But I'm just being honest with what happened, and yeah, it wasn't very good the way I finished that race. But all I'll say is that I ran 3:51. I'm pretty sure that's the second fastest time I've ever run. I don't think I executed the race well. During the race, I felt really strong. I feel like I should have backed my fitness more and just gone behind the pacer, because, right, okay, maybe I would have been a bit more tired after 800 if I'd gone behind the pacer, but at least I would have been in a good position and I would have been running in lane 1 all the time. So I think if I'm to do a 1500 again for the rest of the season, that's the approach I'll take. But look, I was pretty down after the race, but also, I'm talking to other people, and some of whom are running faster times than me, and like the A race was run in 3:40 there, and I know I didn't run 3:40, so this all sounds stupid until you actually do something like that. But I don't really think I'm too far away from that. And what I'm saying is, I see people who have slight disappointments in the races, and they don't really seem to let it get to them. So I'm going to try to take a more level-headed approach to these setbacks and just think, right, okay, not every race can be a personal best, but at the same time, I need to learn from the mistakes that I've made. And I think the mistake that I made was not backing my fitness, and perhaps almost getting a wee bit overwhelmed with how good I actually felt during the race, and thinking like, right, okay, there's 500 to go here, and I still feel like I could win this race. And maybe I wasn't mentally ready for that. And I think if I was listening to someone else say that, I would think, what are you on about? That just sounds stupid. But that's the only way I can kind of explain how I felt. I just felt like I got a bit distracted almost with how good I felt in the race, and I didn't really focus on doing the job at hand. I didn't think when we got through the bell in 2:48 or 2:47, right, okay, just see this through and you'll get at least 3:46 if you finish how I know I can. And what annoys me most is it's how I finish all the time in training. I don't think I finished that last 200 like I would in training, and that is what annoys me. So look, this year there have been a couple of disappointments, but there's some massive performances, and I've run 149, which was pretty phenomenal for me, and I have run 348, and I think that there is still more to come this season. Will I have another 1500 or a mile? As I've said, look, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty obvious what the big goal is for any middle distance runner who does the 1500 meters / the mile. I would like to run under 4 minutes at some stage. Will that happen this year? It looks unlikely, but what I was thinking yesterday was that if I can run under 345, then that could potentially be on the cards. But look, I didn't. Maybe I'll give another 1500 meters a crack this year. Maybe I won't. It just depends how the season goes and how the scheduling goes. Okay, everyone, so just a quick update and transition there. So it is now actually about 2.5 weeks after that race in Watford. I've gone to Portugal, and I did a Portugal travel vlog and training vlog on Instagram. You can get that at Patrick the Runner 97. I think that was pretty good because it was different than what I usually do, and I actually showed some of the stuff I get up to while I'm on holidays. So I'm not going to keep talking about Instagram because it's its own thing, and YouTube is its own thing, but obviously this is a channel about me and my training and trying to help other people. So I do that on YouTube, but also on Instagram. So again, check that out at Patrick the Runner 97, because I suppose YouTube will always be something that I'm going to keep up. I know it's been 2 weeks, I think, from when this video comes out since my last video, but I will try to keep it at least a week. That is what I try to do. Obviously, at the moment, just I have a full-time job while I'm trying to train nearly like a full-time athlete, and it's sometimes hard to fit all these things in, but I will always try my best to get the videos out. And I think YouTube and the long-form content there is a really good way for me to show my journey and to explain the training and racing that I am doing and how I think it can help you guys. So again, just on that note, it really does help me out if you give the videos a like, and I don't think I bang on about that too much, but it really does help if you subscribe to the channel, if you're enjoying the videos, and if you can give me a follow on Instagram. I really would massively appreciate that, because I'm trying to grow that too. But anyway, what happened was that I went to Portugal, had a really good time there, and as I've said, I've had a good training block in that 10 days. But after Portugal, I had an 800 meter race. Now, I didn't get footage of the race, and the reason being was that, well, I was on my own when I was in Watford for the race, which happened about a week ago now. And because of the disappointing 1500 meter performance, I really wanted to focus, and I didn't want to be asking someone who I didn't know 10 minutes before the race if they could video the race. I've done that now the last couple of times, and it's no problem to do it, but it's just that it kind of distracts a bit from the performance and the race, and I just wanted to make sure that I executed the race well, and I think I did. I ended up running 151.12, which obviously isn't a PB, but it's actually the first time I've run 151. I've only run quicker than 152 once before, which was when I ran 149. So I ran 151.1, and I feel like, as I said, it was a good performance. And the reason being is that we actually went through really quickly in the first 400, probably too quickly for me, but I actually felt really good at the start of the race. The pacer was going out in 52 mid. I think he basically did that. I was a small bit behind him and another two guys who were right behind him. So I think I went through probably in about 52 high, and then I obviously came home in about 58 high or something like that, and that was just slightly disappointing that I couldn't hold on to the pace a bit better. But I really do feel like if I had gone through in about 54 low or 53 high, I really think that I am getting to the stage where I can be fit enough to come through in about 55 or maybe 54 high and actually run 148. That is where I think we are, because it was a really good performance. I really dug in and hurt so much, which I was happy with, because sometimes I think this year I have switched off a bit when it's got really painful, and I've kind of not just finished as I should have done, which I really did dig in, and my legs were just sort of breaking down at the line. So I was actually happy with that. I felt like it was a really good solid performance, and you have to tell yourself when you go to these races, not every race can be a PB. And I know I've just spoken about the 1500 meter race, but the season, you can't just put everything on getting the PB every time. It is what I want to do. I'll always be disappointed when I don't get a PB, but you also have to understand that the season is, yes, about progression, but it's also about managing the ups and downs, managing the races, managing the traveling, trying to get better at the execution side of things, trying to get better at the tactics, trying to work on form, just different racing scenarios. in these races. Now, again, I'm not trying to take away from the fact that I want to run fast times, and when I don't run those fast times, it's still for me not quite good enough, because those are the standards that I set myself. But I think I'm moving in a really nice place, and as I said, a large part of 800 meter racing is getting the splits right. And when I ran that PB of 149, I think I ran 54.2 or something like that through the bell, and then ran about a 55 mid. So I definitely think I'm fit enough to do that again, and a bit quicker. So look, that puts me in a really good spot. But this video will hopefully be out on Friday, and it's going to be exciting because this weekend, so that is I think 3rd and 4th of August, or maybe it's the 2nd and 3rd of August, I think, Saturday and Sunday, I have the National Irish Senior Championships for the 800 metres, and hopefully I'll have the heats on Saturday and then the final on Sunday if I get through there, and that'll be live on RTE. But I'm also going to be doing a good YouTube video on it, which will hopefully be up again in the next 7 days or so, and show you a bit of, the preparation side of things, and that there, as I usually do. But I'm also going to be putting it up on my Instagram, so again, check that out there. But look, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone for tuning in. I know these races now happened, a week or two ago, but it was as quick as I could feasibly get the videos up, so I hope you enjoy watching them and me giving you my feedback on them. Sometimes, yes, that takes time, but I try to do it well, and I really appreciate the support. But look, I hope you enjoyed the video. The next one will be coming thick and fast. It'll hopefully be about a week away, and yeah, look, again, massive thank you. Take care. Hope you're all enjoying the videos, and have a great week.